Oh, hello there. You're back to learn some video editing? Perfect, because today we're gonna cover another part in the Highlight Jon Olsson video compilation tutorial series. And we're now at part 3. Can you see it? Yeah, you can see it. I think so. In the first part we covered where to get the music, how to set up the project. In the second one we covered how to actually download the footage. And now we're gonna get to piece it together. And what I want to show you today is one specific sequence out of the video and how I chose the single clips and pieced it together. And the sequence that we're gonna take a closer look at will be the intro.
Let's go to Monaco.
Back in Bali.
Well, hello, Tokyo.
We are in Marbella. We made it to America.
On top of Monaco.
It's gonna be a pretty epic day.
Let's go then.
Let's party!
And here we are back in Premiere. I copied my master sequence and then I deleted the clips that I used here to show you how I pieced it together. Down here you can see the music that I had already selected, and now we have to start choosing clips that we can put on top of the music. And therefore I went into my rough cut sequence and then basically looked through all the clips that I selected for the welcome back in hello from part of the video.
I love it. It's so nice to be back in Bali.
It is.
Back in Bali.
I'm excited.
Up the gates.
Okay, let's go to Monaco. Let's go then.
Let's party!
Woo!
I guess it's time for the daily good morning. As you can see, the sun has now come.
What I did here was I went through all of those clips, and the ones that I really liked, I moved them one line up on video layer 2. All the clips that you're seeing here, those are the ones that I know they could fit very well. And then whenever I find a clip where I know this is like a really important one, this is how it has to start, or this is a part for a transition, then I'm gonna put it one layer even on top. So for example, this
Time
one.
for the daily good morning.
And what I did then was I highlighted those parts, this one and this one, copy, command copy down here. You can see, by the way, my keyboard shortcuts, which I'm going to cover a little later. I would take them, copy them in here, and then I would move them here. What I would then do is I just chose a certain part,
Ready for the hike of your life.
shortened it, and then moved it all the way to the beginning.
Are you ready for the hike of your life?
We are.
I positioned it so right when Yoon stops talking, the music sets in.
We are.
And then the other clip that I chose was this one.
Morning. As you can see, the sun has.
And I knew that here would be the first drop in the music. So I wanted to have this one as a transition.
Yes, it's time for the daily good morning. As you can see.
And here he starts talking about Arbeitsjahr. That's not interesting. And there is where they jumped to the next scene. And then I just shorten it down, move it all the way here.
I guess it's time for the daily good morning.
And here on the clap, the picture goes dark, which is something that I really liked. I always try to cut everything to the beat. In the waveform down here, you see that this one is the beat. So just shorten the clip down until there, and then you're good to go.
I guess it's time for the daily good morning.
And this is how I started out. And then I went back into the rough cut and chose all the other sequences. For example, this one.
I love it. It's so nice to be back in Bali.
It is.
Back in Bali.
Copy, put into my master sequence.
Back in Bali.
And I wanted to have the part where he says back in Bali. Here you can see in the waveform down here that this is where he says it. I can trim everything in the front here, and I can either just drag it like this, or I really like to use keyboard shortcuts because that's way faster, and I customized all my keyboard shortcuts. So here, for example, you can see that there's a keyboard shortcut which does exactly this, just quicker by the press of one button. And I set that one to 4.
Back in Bali.
And there's another one who does the same thing with the ending of a clip, and I set that one to 5. So and now I have
Back in Bali.
the clip that I wanted to have, and I can move this all the way to the front, and instead of having to drag and move it, I can also just mark it with my mouse, Command X to take it away, and paste to put it in. And then I can just look where the beat is. Here, for example, this is a beat. I just move this all the way there and look so that it ends on another beat. And this would be perfect. And then I would just piece clip by clip together until it's done. And finally, in the end, looks like this.
Back in Bali.
Well, hello, Tokyo.
And what you can see here is that all the cuts are always right on the beat,
We're made.
so that the picture is changing when you have a beat in the music.
America.
On top of Monaco.
It's gonna be a pretty epic day.
Let's go then.
Let's party!
This is Canada, huh?
Not that difficult, right? It just takes a little bit of time. And to show this on another sequence a little bit more in detail, I like to show you how I did this one. What I did here again is I went back into my rough cut sequence, and there I knew that I had saved that one under extreme, and here is that very but the long version, of course, untrimmed. Once again, I'm just gonna copy it over, go into my master sequence, I would paste it in, and here in this case I knew that I would chop it into pieces, so I removed the audio And removing that, you can either unlink those, right click and unlink and then delete it, or instead of doing that, just press Alt, highlight the audio clip and then delete it. And I set my delete key to F. And that also brings me to the part of keyboard shortcuts. Here what I can show you is it's very important to navigate quickly through your timeline. And here, just look at my fingers. What I do here is, for example, to go back and forth between all the cuts, I use S and W. And to move one frame, I use D and A. And to zoom in and out, I use Q and E. And that makes me lightning fast when I want to go through the clips here and edit. Back to this sequence. The final product looked somewhat like this. So what I did here is I looked at the clip and then just chopped it into pieces for the parts that I wanted to use. Here, for example, I wanted to use this part, cut that part off, and here that's enough. By the way, other keyboard shortcut for me to cut, instead of pressing C and then cutting manually with the mouse, I just put it to Control, Shift and C. Control, Shift, C. That cuts it for me. All that part is not needed, I already had that, but here I wanted to have this GoPro part, delete all the parts until there. That's enough. Cut it, scroll faster. And this is, by the way, when I want to fast forward, I put fast forward to 3 so that it runs quicker then. Very important. So going back here, I don't need that part. I really like this one. So what I can do here again is cut the first part by pressing 4. That's enough. Cut it again. Fast forward, cut again, delete that one. This is another very, very important keyboard shortcut. It's ripple delete. I mark the gap and press R. And here you can see all the keyboard shortcuts I have in this realm. So everything that I do it with my left hand. Super quick and easy. Here I think I also chose this part. And here this one, maybe like this. Delete. And here there was still not enough, so that I prolonged this one a bit. And I wanted to have this part. And this one was too long, not needed. And that's enough, I think. And then what I did was I took this, I marked it, and then I drag it over here. And then what you simply do is do the same as with the intro, just look for the beat. So here was my first clip. I moved it here all the way to the front where the music starts. And then here I know there's the second beat, so I drag it out until there. And the moment that the beat comes, I choose the next one. I put the next one. And here's the next beat, so I need to drag it a little longer, drag it until here. This one, for example, was too long. Here's another beat, so I would shorten it down. And you just simply go on all the way through the video until you're done with this. So in the end, it looked like this. Here are all the clips that I pieced together. And then here underneath, I have a layer of sound. Because what I really liked after Andreas started using it very much was layering sound of what happened underneath the actual picture. I went back into my rough cut. And here this time I just chose the audio. I took the audio by pressing Alt, marking the audio, copy, moved it over here and copied it in. And then I just chose a part in the audio that I really liked. Once again, I would trim it down, shorten it, and then I moved it underneath the pictures and make it fit. And this is what I had back here then. I'm gonna take away the picture and the music and just listen to the sound of the car. And here you can also see that I lowered the volume. And I lowered the volume of the car so that you just hear it in the background. I lowered it to -3 decibels. And with the music together, it sounds like this. And with the picture together, it looks like this. And that's all the magic behind it. And I did this for the entire video, put it together piece by piece, and then went all the way through. And what I found within the last video was that this entire part with the sound effects gives the video a whole nother level of quality. And that's why we're gonna cover this in the next and last part of the video series, which I'm gonna show you how I did some visual effects, sound effects, and finally rendered the video out. And until then, have fun creating your own stuff. I hope this helped you. Make sure to subscribe and like this video. If you have any questions, just reach out to me on Instagram. Maybe I'm gonna make an Instagram thing right here. And then just make sure to tune in for the last part, and then we will be done and you can go out and create your own awesome videos. Thanks a lot for watching, and until next time.